This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I don't know about that. That might be a little bit of a overreaction in my opinion.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Of course not. What are the odds of shit happens?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yeah. Or maybe I can do this. Ah!
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yeah.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 months. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one is.
You know what? I'm just gonna stand here.
To talk about you, about me.
I'm gonna accept it. I mean, I'm pretty sure it doesn't happen to. So.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated?
Can you tell me?
I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing.
Not really.
Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on.
Are you kidding me? Oh my.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
I hate you.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me.
No.
Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley. You're in for quite a disappointment.
Oh, God.
But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away.
I know!
You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Oh, wow. Well,
take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left.
Oh, God.
30 seconds until a big boom.
Oh, no.
Just you being blown.
I'm sorry. I should have not done it.
Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke.
I'm done.
And believe me,
No.
I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life.
No. Goodbye, world.
Until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Oh, that was rather unpleasant, too. I heard that you put more time on the clock, like, aha, you will suffer. Like, what the what a dick. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm gonna go down the stairs, I think, in this round and see what happens. There's something worse will happen. Hopefully not.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I hope it's not a tragic ending.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
This might be a bad idea, and I'm pretty sure it will be. Oh boy.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
I'm out.
He might be fired for that.
I'm out.
And in such a competitive economy,
I'm out.
why had he taken that risk? All
I'm
because
out.
he believed everyone
what the
had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence
I'm in a
in a
paradox.
single moment for no reason at all.
Paradoxical.
None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Oh no.
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked?
Where are my feet?
Why did doors close automatically behind
What
him
the
wherever?
No! Oh my god.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
Where's my looper? I need a looper to close my loop.
This is all too strange.
Please.
This can't be real.
Help.
And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
God.
He just hadn't found the words
I'm in a
for
loop.
it. I'm dreaming!
It's a dream!
This
It's a
is all a
dream!
dream. Oh,
I don't think it
relieved
is.
Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation.
Oh god.
His co-workers
God.
weren't actually
God.
gone. He wasn't going to lose his
Please,
job.
just
He
close,
wasn't crazy after all.
Close my
He thought to
loop.
himself, I
This is
suppose
too
I'll
much.
wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my
Oh my
boring
God.
real-life job pushing
Please.
buttons. I may
Stop.
as well enjoy this while I'm still
Stop.
lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the
what?
ground. Then
What?
he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared.
Oh my God.
It was so much
Oh my
fun,
God.
and Stanley marveled that he had still
Please,
not
I
woken
beg
up.
you to close
How
my
was he
loop.
remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head
Shut up!
dictating everything
Shut
that
up,
I'm
don't
doing
you
and
tell me.
thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by
Oh, no.
Stanley, who found it particularly strange.
God.
I'm dreaming about a voice
Oh, God.
describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts.
Oh no.
And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course,
Close my loop.
how could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving
I need
himself,
my looper.
believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to
Please.
take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now
Oh
as
my
he's ever
god,
been in
this
his
is
life.
so bad.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was
It's not a dream!
Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
Oh no.
He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control. That this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently.
No!
And invited himself to wake up.
No.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin. The press of the mattress on his back. The fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
Don't wake up.
I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I don't think it's okay. It's not okay. Am I... No!
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real.
Where's my Luther?
Oh
no, turn it around. Luther, close it. Close my loop.
And everything went black.
I think my loop got closed just now. Oh my god.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
What the
She rose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Well, my loop got closed. At least that happened. God. Can I have something good happen? You know what? We're gonna go...
All of his
I want to go to the
gone.
escape route.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We're gonna escape. Let's escape. Let me out. I'm out.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna escape from this place.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yep. 2845.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
Kill surprise? What the alright. We're gonna skip. I know we were... See, we've done what? 3 different endings so far? Maybe, obviously the ending way will probably be, you know, the 4th. So let's go that way.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door of the red mind control facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent